Hello everyone. Good morning.
Morning.
Aidora.
Morning, I said. Okay.
For all, thank you so much for attending today's session. So today we're having a usage of AI in higher education for students. Without further ado, I will use this virtual floor to Aidora.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Assalamualaikum. So first of all, thank you for joining me today. I know a lot of us are quite busy with the start of the semester, um, preparing and making sure our classes are running smoothly. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. And thank you to TNL for inviting me to give this presentation/workshop. So the topic, like what Hazi mentioned earlier, was usage of AI in higher education for students. So when TNL first approached me to do this online presentation/workshop, I wasn't too sure whether the approach was what students can use or what we use. So, for example, AI tools that we use for our students. So basically, I thought maybe today I will demonstrate both then, perhaps something that we can use as well as something that students might be using so that it covers AI in higher education for students. Because there's actually two different ways to look at it, what we do for our students as well as what students might be using on their own. So I'll be covering both aspects of that. And I will be breaking down so I'll be breaking down the content for today into the following sections. I'll do an overview first of what is AI in higher education. And then I'll go on to highlight the various usage of AI for student learning. And then we'll have a break. And after the break, I'd like to demonstrate 1 to 2 examples of AI tools that we can use. Actually, both us as teachers as well as learners that can be used for our students. And finally, the last part of today would be a sharing session. So I'd also like to know if anyone, your opinions and if anyone is using or knows other tools, AI tools out there that you're using for your class, as well as any Q&A session. Okay. So let's start. And I'm not sure, but some of you may have seen this video already, but I'd like to share something that basically shows how AI is actually being used in students' learning. So let me just share the YouTube video. Okay, I don't actually have it in yet, so let me go back to my slide. Do let me know if the sound, you can't hear the sound.
Hi, my name is Sal Khan. I'm the founder of Khan Academy.
Is the sound being shared?
Yes.
Okay, all right, because on my end, it's not really clear. Okay, so I'll just start it again.
And I'm also the author of a new book about artificial intelligence in education called Brave New Words. And OpenAI invited myself and my son Imran here to try out some of their new technology. And so we're curious about how good it might be at tutoring someone in math on Khan Academy. So let's get it started. It's loading up. All right, make sure it can see our screen.
Actually, in this format,
hello there. I'm here with my son, and I'd love you to tutor him on this math problem, but don't give him the answer. You can ask questions and nudge him in the right direction, but I really want to make sure he understands it himself. And he's here in the room, so you can talk to him directly.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. Let's look at the problem together. Can you first identify which sides of the triangle are the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse relative to angle alpha?
All right, so I'm pretty sure this is the angle alpha right here, right?
Perfect. That's correct. Now, looking at the triangle, which side do you think is the hypotenuse?
Really,
Remember the hypotenuse?
I'm not totally sure. I think it might be this one, but I really am not sure. The side AC.
You're close. Actually, side AC is called the adjacent side to the angle alpha. The hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle and is directly opposite the right angle. Can you find which one is the hypotenuse?
Oh, okay, I see. So I think the hypotenuse is this really long side from A to B. Would that be correct?
Exactly. Well done. Now that you've identified the hypotenuse, can you identify which side is the opposite side to angle alpha?
Okay, well, I mean, you told me earlier that this was the adjacent side, and I know that's the hypotenuse, so I'm guessing that this side, BC, is the opposite side.
Great deduction. That's absolutely correct. Now that you've identified all the sides relative to angle alpha, do you remember the formula for finding the sine of an angle in a right triangle?
Yeah, I know that the sine is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse.
Perfect. That's absolutely right. Now, can you apply that formula to find side alpha in the triangle using the lengths of the sides that we've identified?
Okay, so, I mean, you told me that 7, this side BC, is the opposite side. And then you said that the hypotenuse is the longest side, so that would be this side AB, which is 25. So would the answer be 7 over 25?
Excellent work. That's correct. Sine alpha equals 7 over 25. You did a great job identifying the sides and using the sine formula. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
Hi, my name
So, any response? What do you think of the video just now that I just shared? That's actually the direction that AI in higher education, in that case, it's even secondary education, private tutor, yeah. So that's an example of AI that is being used in education. And what it actually means is basically it's the use of the application of AI technologies. So for example, machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, and data analytics in an educational setting. So that video actually shows all this being used as like what Dr. Tang said, like sort of like a private tutor kind of scenario. And these technologies are used to enhance and support learning experiences. And for teachers and administrators, these tools can also help in streamlining administrative processes and also, in a way, improve student outcomes. So if we look at it in a more broader sense, there are actually 4 distinct key features of AI in higher education. So the first is adaptive learning systems. So these are basically software platforms that can analyze student data and tailor their learning experiences. So the example of the video just now, what Khan Academy is doing is an example of an adaptive learning system. And then it's also an example of number 2, which is a virtual assistant, sort of like a private tutor. These are mainly chatbots, so like ChatGPT and any automated systems that can advise students as well as teachers on how to do administrative tasks and so forth. And then the third key feature of AI in higher education is predictive analytics, which is algorithms that analyze student data to identify patterns, trends, and risks. So these can predict whether a student is doing well in their course or may have problems in their learning. And finally, the fourth one is automated grading. So tools that can help assessment process. So this is something that's really good for us as teachers. So for example, helping you to create assessment rubrics, providing feedback, and so forth. Now, what are the areas that the important and growing role of AI in modern learning? So one of the key areas is that AI provides personalization. So AI can actually adapt the different learning experiences of individual students. So they can, for example, like the example of the video just now, a student may not be able to understand a particular topic as quickly as another student because they understand subjects at their own pace. So with personalization, they can actually cater their learning to their own personal strengths and weaknesses. Later on, after the break, I will show one demonstration of sort of like a tutor sort of system as well that I say perhaps some students might be using. I'll explain why some might be using and some might not, which is a stripped down version of what you saw in the video earlier. Then another reason that AI is more prevalent in modern learning is that it helps in making administration more efficient. So this is pretty much what AI chatbots, and predictive analytics are doing right now. So they can help manage administrative tasks. So this is not just a tool for students, but also for teachers as well, for lecturers as well. You can use AI to do the mundane tasks for you so that you can focus on more complex tasks. So this example, I think one very good example for lecturers is using an AI tool to create your assessment rubrics and help to create your actual assignment, for example. So that's the demonstration that I will show after the break as well. Third reason or third importance or some role that AI plays in modern learning is that it can help to enhance learning outcomes. So artificial intelligence has this ability to assess students' performance and offer tailored recommendations so that they can improve their learning outcomes. So how many of you actually use gamification tools like quizzes in your class? So do any of you use that? Okay, so I see someone raising their hand. If you're using the subscription version, even these gamification tools have incorporated AI features. So I have a subscription version of quizzes that I use with my students. And the AI features in quizzes actually does have features that help to enhance the students' learning outcome. And they actually give recommendations. So once the student answers the quiz, there are recommendations for the students to, for example, okay, you did not do too well in these questions. Perhaps you need to focus more or revise more on that particular topic. The ones that raised their hand, I'm not too sure, but are you using the free version or the subscription version of quizzes? And the ones that raised just now, you can type your answer. Free version. Okay, so does the free version have the AI features as well? Just wondering. So it generates questions based on topic, right? So yeah, so the AI feature available is that it can help to generate questions, right? For the subscription version, it goes a little bit further and actually analyzes the students' results and then gives feedback to the students. So that's pretty much the difference. Even on open learning, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I think most of us are. You can also see that open learning also has the feature that allows you to add, you give certain keywords, right? And then it can generate certain, like the tutorials or questions for the students to answer. So I'll just show a quick one. So this is my, so if you do something like a tutorial here, you can actually use, let me use an older, okay, so if you click on review, so for example, I have 2 links to an external site for review, but if you click on edit, you can actually, if you scroll down, you can actually see that they have add activities and content using AI assistant. So what you basically need to do is you just choose what kind of activity you want. So currently open learning has applying knowledge, analogy, crowdsource challenges, case study, and so forth. And then you choose one. So let's say you want applying knowledge. Okay, I think the size is too big. Yeah. Yep. So for this particular topic, so chapter 1, you can choose, for example, applying knowledge, get your learners to explore a topic by applying it. And it's basically just step by step. So if you click on this, for example, then you have the activity builder. So all you need to do is insert the information here and then what kind of tone you want, and it will generate questions for you. At the end, you can choose whether you want to use those questions or not, but I'm not sure how many of you have actually tried this. So I've actually tried this for some other subjects of mine, and some of the questions are actually quite good. And again, you can choose whether you want the tone to be academic, experiential, conversation. You can choose more than one, in fact. So you could say academic plus experiential, for example. Okay, so I think it's worth trying out since open learning is actually available to us anyways. Right, so just for those who want to try, you can actually use this, and it's already available for us. Right, so this is under open learning. And let me get back to here. So that can help students enhance their learning outcome. Okay, number 4, sorry, can't see my own screen. Support for faculty. So this is the part where the AI tools are used by us, okay, by faculty members. So things like I said, creating the rubrics, even helping to format your assignment question. And when students submit their assignment, for example, you can assign the marks and it automatically grades and gives results, okay, or some feedback to the students as well. So that's another use of or importance of AI in modern learning. Then the fifth one is accessibility. So this usually refers to students that have some sort of learning disability or some sort of disability. So I think for us, the easiest example would be some sort of language barrier. We are getting more international students, right? And our mode of delivery is English, but they may not be, in terms of conversational English, they may not be that strong yet when they first join. So a lot of the translated tools now are actually AI based as well. So this is an example of AI tools used to facilitate those with some sort of disability. The sixth one is individualized learning paths. Now, again, this is something that publishing companies like Wiley and even online learning platforms like Khan Academy are actually doing now. And that's actually allowing customized study plans or course progression for each student so that they can learn at their own pace. I will show an example, another video of, I think it's Wiley's product. So if you have, for example, a subscription to Wiley, they have that tool as well where a student can sign up for a particular course and then learn that course at their own pace. However, these tools, currently what I've noticed is that they have focused mainly on mathematics and language. So it's not, currently it's not available for every single subject out there. Even just now the video showed mathematics, right? Okay. And finally, inclusive learning. So AI has the ability to cater to diverse students' learning capabilities, learning styles, and they have things like assistive technologies to help or tools to help in providing a more inclusive learning environment for the student. So for example, in the video earlier about learning to get the, was it sign, right, for the triangle, the student goes to class, learns it in class, but may not be able to grasp all the concepts within that class with the lecturer or the teacher. And they can go back and use that AI tutoring tool to further, check or enhance their learning, right? And they may actually, some students, they're not comfortable with approaching the lecturer, then they might feel more comfortable with using a tool like that. So that's an example of inclusive learning. Okay. So I'm going to give some examples that I found on my own research online. And of course, there are other examples as well. Before that, there are other areas that AI is also used in education. So things like proactive support, improved academic performance, career planning. So we do see online career tests that's actually AI driven as well. So those are other examples that are also used, how AI is actually used in higher education. Right, so I want to just concentrate on the 4 key areas and the examples here. So the first one is adaptive learning systems. Again, like I said, this is probably the most, the area where the different aspects of AI is used together the most. And as I mentioned, it's normally used by online learning systems as well as publishing companies. So some elements, or we do see some of these elements being used in learning platforms like open learning and gamification sites as well. So currently they may not be using all or fully utilizing all the AI technologies, but some of the technologies. Now I want to share one, which is Alex, with everybody. So yeah, sorry, not Wiley. Alex is actually McGraw-Hill's AI-based learning system, so adaptive learning system. And I'll just run the video so you can understand how Alex works.
Web-based learning and assessment system. To understand what makes ALEX the most effective learning system ever created, let's look at the science behind how it works. Science developed over decades of research at top universities. Let's take a look at Sam, a 9th grader who is struggling with Algebra 1. The first thing ALEX needs to do is determine Sam's knowledge state. Sam's knowledge state is everything he already knows in Algebra 1. To get a basic understanding of what goes into computing a knowledge state, let's pretend that instead of consisting of several hundreds of topics, Algebra 1 only consisted of 5 topics. But even with only 5 topics, there are 32 possible knowledge states, or combinations of these topics. Now, some of these states are so impractical that in reality, there are actually only 13 feasible knowledge states that a student could fall into. All the feasible knowledge states are organized into a learning space, a mathematical structure specifying the relationships among the knowledge states and showing which topics a student is ready to work on. To move from one knowledge state to another within the learning space, a student must learn a new topic, or forget a previously learned one. So our example involved only 5 topics, but if we look at the full Algebra 1 course, consisting of hundreds of topics, there are over 1 trillion feasible knowledge states that a student could fall into. ALEX can accurately and efficiently assess where each student is among these trillions of knowledge states and know their exact position at all times. This is no simple task, and it's a task that hasn't been achieved by any other program. All of this works because mathematical cognitive scientists and software engineers at ALEX have spent years gathering data from millions of actual students using the program. This data allows ALEX to construct all the feasible knowledge states and how they're structured together into a learning space, leading to personalized pathways to course mastery for every student, no matter where they start. It all begins with a brief individualized assessment. Using learning space theory, ALEX intelligently chooses each question based on the student's responses to all previous questions to determine what the student has mastered, not mastered, and exactly what topics he is ready to learn. The student sees their knowledge state as a multicolored pie chart, which lets them know what topics are available to explore. Everything happens step by step, one topic at a time, as ALEX continually updates Sam's knowledge state and ready-to-learn possibilities. ALEX constantly watches Sam and records his successes and failures, and this information is used to guide Sam along one of his optimal learning paths through the trillions of knowledge states in the learning space. Only ALEX has that power. Because of this constant evaluation, ALEX only presents topics that the student is actually ready to learn. ALEX challenges the student without frustrating or boring them, resulting in tremendous learning momentum and increasing confidence. ALEX will periodically assess Sam to make sure that he is retaining the material he learns. Research shows that periodic assessments not only ensure retention, but actually increase it. A cycle of individualized assessment and adaptive learning continues throughout the course to ensure that Sam has truly mastered and retained the concepts presented. At the conclusion of the ALEX course, Sam will have a deeper understanding of the material and dramatically improved mastery over the course topics. ALEX has already helped millions of students succeed in math, chemistry, and accounting at thousands of schools, colleges, and universities. For more information or
So before anybody thinks I'm promoting these tools, I'm not. I'm just giving an example of what the publishing companies are actually doing now. So ALEX is just one example. And the other publishing companies are using the same, using similar tools as well. So I think Newton Alta is Pearson's version. Then you've got Smart Sparrow as well. So these are just for everyone's, to be aware that these tools are already available. Although I'm not too sure in terms of our university, of course, all these tools, it's subscription based. So the institutions of higher education, they need to subscribe to the service. But I'm not sure if our university has access to the services or not. Hazim, any idea?
No idea.
No idea. So yeah, it's amazing the tools that these publishing companies have, and they incorporate it into their online site, access to their books and so forth. But again, like I mentioned earlier, it's not available to every single course. I believe that they started out with, like I said, mathematics, okay, as well as languages first. But other areas, I'm guessing that slowly it's going to be applicable to the other subjects and areas as well. So okay, I just remembered, just want to share with everybody because I didn't show just now. Open learning. So an example of, what we have currently, so Hazim just answered the question, not sure if we have access or our students have access to tools like Alice, but we do have open learning. So in my previous ethical hacking course, I just want to share, not previous, this current semester actually. So under the tutorial and maps, I actually used that AI assisted tool to come up with the question here. So it's just one discussion question. So this was AI generated, and I just changed the wording a little bit. So imagine a world where the cybersecurity landscape and the service sector industry merge together. In this scenario, cybersecurity becomes an essential part of various service industries such as mass media, hospitality and tourism, healthcare, education, and telco. How would the importance of cybersecurity in today's world change when viewed through the lens of the service sector industry? So this question was actually generated by the AI-assisted tool down here. So I actually used this to add that activity, to add that question in, and it's, I believe I used, applying knowledge. So you should, try and explore, because if you give the AI assisted tool it will work well if you use it, you key in, so choose a specific topic to explore, you're very specific on that, and then you include any additional notes, and then include the learning outcome, and then choose this, and you can actually generate quite, questions that you would probably think of on your own as well, but in a faster way, right? So I'm not sure how many of you have tried this, but it's actually quite good. And I've also used explain a technique as well, and analogy one. I've not tried the crowdsource challenge yet and the Feynman technique, but it's a good idea for you to try this out because this is available to us, right? Even for, some of you might be wondering, okay, but we subscribe to open learning, so therefore we get this content. But what if, for example, like quizzes, I don't subscribe to the paid version, I use the free version and it's limited. But the thing is, there are still quite, even for free version, so I use something called Educa Play as well, and I don't have a subscription for this, but I've also noticed that even the free version allows use of certain AI tools. So, for example, this system administration and management revision. So if I wanted to edit this, I'm not sure if you guys have used EduCalPlay before, but I do use it for my class, and this is free. It's just that the free version has, when you run the exercises online, the free version has advertisements running at the bottom. That's the only difference. But again, you see it has its own AI creator. Make it with Ray, your automatic AI creator. So these are questions that I actually typed myself. But then if you click on Make It with Ray, it gives you suggestions as well. Okay, so this is a free version. So give me a title and I'll create your froggy jumps for you. Okay, so they even give you the example. So even free subscription sites do give you some good AI-based tools for you to create, activities or quizzes and so forth for your students. Right? So at this point, are there any questions from anyone? Just going through some examples first. Anyone have any questions so far? Right, so that's just the first part, which is adaptive learning systems. Just showed you what Alex is and then what you can do with open learning and some of the gamification sites that I use. The second one is virtual assistants. So this is something that I think most of us are quite aware of, ChatGPT, but I'm not sure if you're aware that there are different versions of ChatGPT. So the current free version is 3.5, and then the subscription version 4.0, and I think about a month ago or beginning of this month, the subscription version has changed to 4.0, not 4.0, but 4.0. I will demonstrate the difference between the 3.5 and 4.0 version after the break. And this is the tool that I think some of our students might be using. Not the 3.5 version, but if they can actually subscribe. And if you look at ChatGPT 4.0, there's a lot of tools, and similarly like personal tutors that the students might be using as well. Others that are more advanced and of course subscription based, IBM has their own version called the Watson Tutor. Carnegie University has a very good one for learning mathematics called Math IA. Khan Academy has what you saw earlier was actually a version of the Khan Migo. And anyone use Duolingo? Anyone know what Duolingo is? Does anyone know what Duolingo is? So okay, I think yeah, if you're teaching, yeah, learning a new language, correct? So it's not a web-based tool actually. It's actually a mobile phone, a mobile app tool. So Duolingo, and there are other tools as well, but Duolingo is an example of a mobile application that actually teaches you how to learn a new language. And again, Duolingo has its free version. It has a subscription version. And now Duolingo has recently launched Duolingo Max, which is Duolingo with AI assistance. But currently, the Duolingo Max version is only available for, I think, 2 or 3 languages and only on iPhone platform at the moment. But in the future, it's going to be available for Android devices, and they'll be adding the AI assisted technology into most of the or the other languages as well. So why I'm pointing out this is that it's not just web-based when it comes to AI-assisted tools. You have a lot of mobile apps that are also using AI-assisted tools. Right, so I don't need to show you the features of Duolingo, but just want you to know that that's where the direction of virtual assistants is going to. So it's not just web-based, it's also applied to mobile apps. And then predictive analysis of predictive analytics, sorry. These are examples of AI-based tools that, for example, could help a student decide what kind of career path they might be based on their various factors like their personality, their what kind of working environment they want. So all these factors go in, and then the tool will actually tell them which area that they might be interested in having a career. So, or even those who already have, who are already working, and there are tools out there that actually, AI-based tools that actually can give advice into, okay, what should you pursue next? Or from this level, what should you do next? And these are just some of the examples available online. WouldyouRatherBe.com, Handshake, My Career Shines, Hiration, Bright Hive. So this is using predictive analytics, which means they take input from the user and then they come up with predictions. Okay. Fourth is automated grading. So again, this is probably, I think, mainly 1, 2, and 4 is what we see, perhaps what we're using now and what our students might be using as well. Predictive analytics for career guidance, I'm not too sure. I don't have that much data on whether our students are using that or not. But the fourth one, automated grading. Okay, these are tools like Turnitin. So we know our students are using that. Grammarly, and then you have Quillbot. Okay, these are all tools that help in automating something, grading, or maybe translating, things like that. And we are all actually on Teams, and you'd be surprised that even on Microsoft Teams, you have these AI-assisted tools as well. So again, the ChatGPT and the Teams, the two examples there, I will actually show after the break. Yeah, and are there any questions so far? So I just wanted to cover these examples, or anyone wants to share what they found as well. To be honest, when TNL approached me to give this presentation, even I was like, okay, there's so many things out there. It's very hard to narrow down the scope and narrow down the amount of AI-assisted tools available. But anyone want to share anything, or anyone have any questions up to this point? Anything that I need to repeat? Because if no, then we could go for a break, and I will, when we come back from the break, I will actually demonstrate the differences between ChatGPT 3.5 and 4.0, and then how you could use Microsoft Teams to create your assignment and rubrics as well. Hazim, anything? Any questions? Or else we could go for a break.
For me, yes, we can have a short break.
Yeah. I think it's 9:45. I can start at 10. There's two different things that I want to show. So pretty much after that it's just any Q&A and things like that. Kin is asking, my career shines in Play Store. I think my career shines might be a web-based tool. Yeah. So, sorry. So Kin is saying that she couldn't find my career shines in Play Store. The predictive analytics tools here that I listed, some are mobile-based, but some are also web-based. So it's my career shines, I think it's online. I mean, on a website. I think there are also some predictive analytics tools that I couldn't go to the sites. I couldn't go to using our network. So you might have to open at home as well, your own personal network. Yeah. Okay, so all right, we take a break, and then when I come back, I'll demonstrate one example of virtual assistant using ChatGPT 4.0 and then automated rubric setup and assignment setup using Microsoft Teams. Yeah, Kin, you can try accessing from your home because I believe some sites are locked from our network. Yeah. Okay, so take a bit. I'll start again at 10 o'clock. Okay, hi. Everybody back? Okay. Um, all right, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate two different tools, or AI-based tools. The first one is something that us lecturers can use, and it's on Microsoft Teams. And then the second one is just to show, I'm pretty sure most of us and our students are using ChatGPT, but what's the difference between 3.5 and the latest 4.0 version? So you can follow along if you want to try this out. So it's assignment creation in Microsoft Teams. So can you see my Teams on the screen? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just an old Teams team of mine, not the current semester because that's already been created. So I'm going to use my system administration and management September 2023 teams for this demonstration. So of course, first of all, you need to create the subject team. And for those who are not sure how to create a Teams, Microsoft Teams, you just click on Teams and then you can just click on join or create a team, right? The next screen will tell you, okay, you can join a team, but in this case, you would have to create a team for your subject. And the choice that you're given is from template, from another team, or from group. Normally, I just use class. The template that I use is class template. So I'm going to use the one that I've already used before, which is SAM September 2023. So what you do next is you click on the left-hand side, you can see, for example, homepage, class notebook, classwork, assignments, grades, reflect, insights. So if you want to create an assignment, you just click on assignments. And then just click at the bottom corner, somewhere in the middle left side, create. And then you can just choose if you want a quiz or assignment. So in this case, I want to create a new assignment. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, so over here, you can put a title to your assignment and then the instructions. So what I'm just going to do is copy paste what I have. This is okay, the title would be Linux System Administration dash scripting. Okay, and then at the same time, just copy from here, just copy and paste. Okay. And then you can set the deadline for the assignment. If there's anyone who's following along, if I'm moving too fast, just let me know. Okay, so I've put in the title, I've put in the description here. Then I can set the when you want to post. So the first thing is set the date where you want the assignment to appear, what day and time you want the assignment to appear. let's say I want it to be shown on Monday. At 8 o'clock. Okay. Then you can also edit the assignment timeline. So here, sorry, this is the part where you can put, so switch on first. So sorry, schedule date is the one where you want, when do you want the assignment to appear on Teams? So let's say I want it on Monday. At the time, so I want it at 8 a.m. The due date is the date that you want the students to submit the assignment. So maybe that 26th July, 5 p.m. The closing date, you can also set a date that you can switch it on if, for example, students are allowed to still submit even after the due date. So perhaps I'll put that usually what, 2 weeks or 1 week later. Okay. So then it tells you assignment will post on Monday, June 3 at 8 a.m. and it's due Friday, July 26 at 5 and date turn-ins allowed until Friday, August 2. Okay, so you can set this and then just click done. Right. And then after that, down here, you can set for which course. So some of you might have, you know, students taking different codes, but essentially they're in the same class. So the teams might be different. It's actually up to you how you want to set up your teams. So you could actually choose the same assignment for another group or another team, and then just select current students. Or you can assign it to individual students. It really depends on how your assessment is like. So in this case, my assignment is just basically for all the students. And then down here, you see something called add rubrics. So you can actually create the rubrics for this. Now, the AI part is actually down here. If you see the symbol down here, so your description of your assignment, you can add sparkle, add learning objectives, add details as well. Okay, so it gives you suggestions based on what you typed here. So perhaps, for example, this is like too dry or too not student friendly. Okay, then you can add detail or add steps here if you want to. There's other 4 choices here, or you can click on simplify. Okay, so if I click on simplify, this is the AI part. It will try to simplify what I typed earlier. And you can see that it has actually done the font, changing the font size so that something looks like a header and so forth for you. Right. So then you can decide to, I don't like it, regenerate, or you could cancel it, or you could keep it if you like it. So this is the AI feature available. So all I did just now was just copy paste it, and then they did the what do you call the formatting for me. So if you don't like it, you can regenerate. You really don't want to use it, then you can just cancel. If you like it, then you just keep it. Then you can add other things as well, adding steps, adding the learning objectives here. Okay, so this is the AI feature. Okay, and another one is when you want to create the rubrics for this assignment. So then you just click on add rubric. And you have a choice, create rubrics from scratch. So this is if you want to create the rubrics yourself, but the one that I want to show is create rubric using AI. So this one will let AI help you set up and fill out the rubrics. Of course, another one is if you already have a rubrics, you could just upload that as well. So I'm going to just show the AI feature So create rubric using AI. Right, so create new rubric. So the title, because my assignment was bash scripting. So let's see, what did I call it? I think I just called it. Yep, just bash scripting. Admin. Bash script. Okay. Okay, so then you, not too sure. By default, I just choose English, but I guess they've got other languages as well. And then over here, what do you want this rubric to evaluate? So in my case, it would be type script specifications, script readability. Oops, sorry. The scripts reusability. And script. So of course this is determined by you. Oops, wrong spelling. So let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 4 criteria, and then just click next. Okay, the next screen asks you for which grade level. So in this case, this is university. And then how do you want the rubric scale to be? So they gave a suggestion already, excellent, good, fair, poor, but you can actually change that, or you can also customize. So you can have like C standard, B standards, below standard, or you customize. If you click on customize, then you can add your own. And then you notice that it auto-generates the criteria. Earlier I specified, right, script, reusability, script, what did I put earlier? Script efficiency, script readability, script specifications. So they actually, the AI part actually generates, okay, do you want to assess the clarity and of purpose and functionality of the script, automation emphasis, applicability in the college environment. This was based on the question that I actually, sorry, the text that I actually pasted earlier. So if I want all, I just click add all. And I can also still add on new criteria if I want to, but just for demonstration sakes, let's say I just want all that is demonstrated here, or sorry, all that is generated here. So I just click add all. And then again, you can, if you want more, you just click on more suggestions. Okay, so then it says readability efficient. This is what I specified earlier. So if I want to add readability, I can add that as well. And reusability, for example. Then when I'm done, I just click on the bottom right-hand corner that says create rubric using AI. Okay, so it auto-generates the criteria as well. You of course need to double check because even AI can make mistakes, right? And you can still change this if you want to. Okay, you can also ask to regenerate again. So you don't have to take everything word for word. So if you find that this is too wordy, you can make the changes. Okay, but if you're okay with it, and you can still add criteria and so forth, you can also already specify the points. So how much per section? So let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, 6 sections here. If I click on yes points, so it gives, by default, it tries to like divide equally the percentage, but maybe functionality and purpose, I just want 10%. Confirmation, I give more emphasis, 20%. This is probably just 10%, 20, 30, 40. So it's over 100. And 9 interface usage, maybe I said 15. Readability 15. Okay, so how many is that? 10, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and maybe reusability is 30%. Okay, so it's over 100%. That's correct. In fact, if your calculation is wrong, you wouldn't be able to catch it. So you can specify the percentage of the points you want to give for every section already. And then when you're done, just click attach. And then it goes back to the first screen, the assignment here. So now you have your rubrics set. So this is the rubrics, and then it's over 100. And then this part is something new, reflect check-in. I believe previously they didn't have this, but you're not sure what it is, you can just click on preview. So Microsoft Teams always adds in, so this is for students. So let's say you have displayed the assignment. They get to actually respond. If they think, oh, the assignment is too hard, they probably give this as the feedback. If they're happy with the assignment, they probably give a smiley face. Yeah. So this is actually something new. So you could actually turn it on, right? So that you get feedback from the students based on smiley faces. Okay. And then once you're done, you can actually schedule it. If you're not sure yet, you can always save it as a draft first. You don't like it, you start from scratch, you can discard. Now remember that because it's scheduled to appear, if you look at my assignment timeline, I put the schedule date. So this assignment is only supposed to appear next week on Monday. So what happens is, if you click schedule, it won't appear yet until Monday, 8 o'clock, because that's what I set the time to, right? Monday, 8 o'clock. So before I click on schedule, there's also something called learning accelerators. Again, this is something new. Previously they didn't have this. So apparently learning accelerators is if you have an assignment that requires the students to look up something or read something, you can actually create that as well. So reading progress and searching progress. So some of you might have assignments where they have to create a report. Then you can also track how the students do well in terms of searching or citing. Okay, I haven't tried this personally myself because again, this particular example of the assignment is programming, so there's no need for looking for reading and so forth. But this is quite interesting. Again, this is new. And currently, Learning Accelerator is only for reading progress and searching progress. You can also attach apps to your assignment as well. So internal Teams apps. So this one you have to explore because Teams has a lot of apps, whiteboards and so forth. You can also add puzzles. You have to, if you click on see all, there's a lot. So you can add the apps to your assignment as well. So once you're done And anything that you need to attach, if you need to attach any image or additional information, you can attach as well. So once you're done, you just click on schedule. And then it will say that it's scheduled to come out on the 3rd of June at 8 a.m. Okay, if you put the exact time, then the assignment already comes out. So of course you can edit this. So let's say I change the timeline to today. So it's coming out today. Got to put it for 10:30. Okay, so, oops, sorry, because my screen, there's too many screens. Hang on, where's the screen for my Teams? Oops. Where did my Teams go? Sorry, guys. Stay here. Where is my Teams? Sorry, I'm trying to find where's my Teams. Sorry, guys. Hang on. So I'm here, but where did my Teams go? I think I accidentally clicked close. Hang on, guys. So yeah, here it's back. So update. And then it will appear at 10:30 a.m. So another 8 minutes. Sorry about that. Okay, AI was camera shy. All right. So this is one of the features, AI-based features available on Microsoft Teams. And if I'm not mistaken, once you grade, so you have the assignment, and even the grading part, once you give the grades, again, you would have to, based on the assignment. So currently my assignment is not graded yet because it's not even scheduled yet. But once it's out, you can ready to grade. Okay. Currently, like I said, this assignment hasn't been graded. So ready to grade, and then it will appear here under the grades part here. Okay, and you can track, and then there's also a reflection part for students. Okay. Safe place for learners to express their emotions, establish connections, and so forth. But this is not an AI feature though. And then the last one is insights, which again, I believe it's tied to the assignment and the grades and reflection. Yeah. So this one is AI based. Okay, so it tells you the learning patterns and then the trend for your class. So Dr. Tang is asking, AI will mark based on the rubric. Yeah. So whatever you assign, not you're actually marking. So the assignment, the rubrics creation was using AI, and then once you have graded, okay, then the grades will appear here. Right. I don't have a sample for this yet though, but the creation of the rubrics is based on, yeah, so the marks will be based on the creation of the rubrics that you created for your assignment. Any other questions? Actually, sorry, Bridget, but I have to mention your name. Bridget has used the assignment feature in Teams a lot. She's actually more well-versed in this than me. So yeah, you can also ask your questions to Bridget because she's also in here.
Camera shy.
So Vijay is asking, can AI fill out Oracle marks and auto-generate GIR? I wish. Probably in the future. But we could get students, DJ, we could get students to do this as the FYP, yeah? I know your project. So this is just one of the things that I think we can use because it's available to us. We're on Microsoft platform anyways. I do also know that I have colleagues using Copilot. If you're not sure if you've heard of Copilot. Can also look for something called Copilot. So I know some of my colleagues are using Copilot as well. And one thing I like about Copilot is that yeah, it's embedded in the browser, Edge browser. I like the main feature that I like about Copilot is that it can change the text to like, you can tell it to please change the text to text that is more Gen Z friendly, you know, because like we are a different generation. The way we write instructions might be a bit boring for students now. So they have that feature as well. But you could always like generate using Copilot the actual content, right? And then put it inside Teams. But again, I'm not sure about how much you use Teams for in your class. But for my colleagues and I, we use Teams quite a lot as well. Right. So any questions about the assignment feature for Microsoft Teams? It's still not appearing yet because I still have 3 minutes to 10:30. So it won't appear until it's ready. Any questions about Microsoft Teams assignment feature? Yes, correct. Thank you, Vijay. There's so many apps and tools available for Teams. So you just click on apps and then you can have a whole listing of tools that you can use on Teams. There's just a lot that it's more of how much time you have to explore and what you're actually looking for. You can narrow down to like education specifically, so many things. I think it's just a matter of us going through and figuring out what works for us. Okay, but at least because we're on a Microsoft Teams platform, we have a lot of choices in terms of adding tools. So I've used AHA Slides before with my teams. They've got their own quiz version. I know they have polls, even presentation AI. So able to create design presentations using AI tech as well. Yes, and correct. We all have access to Copilot as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's a combination of DALL-E and chat. And similar to what I want to demonstrate next is ChatGPT. But I want to show you the comparison between ChatGPT, which is 3.5, which is the free version, and the subscription version. And specifically, I want to show something that students might be using. Okay. So if there's no questions on Teams, I'll move on to the next one, which is looking at ChatGPT versus 3.5 versus 4O.
Sorry, Aidora. I
Yeah.
can show a sample of I was actually
yeah.
looking for the marking. that
Yeah, I
had
was
done,
hoping you could show.
but I had to look for the old one. So
Okay.
I will share the screen.
Okay, thanks.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So this was done under the previous um, Teams login, because we have the UOW login and the KDU login. So I used it when it was under KDU. So there will be some things that we can't see at this moment, but there will be something that we can. So I think you can see my screen now. Yeah. And so I had actually, you see here, there's a 2 return, and this was for a diploma. So I put in their test, which was objective. And so I actually marked it and returned it to them. So you will see it under returned, and all the students get to see that, and you also see the marks here. So I can't generate the summary result because I'll need to re-log in to the KDU link to see this breakdown. But you can also put in feedback to the students when you type in the marks. Okay, when you key in the marks, or when you have a feedback, if it is in subjective or general feedback for each student, you can type it in, they can see it. So it actually saves you the problem of telling them what their marks are. Yeah, so I used it for a diploma, but there were times I also use it for peer-to-peer evaluation where there are no marks awarded, but I want personal submission, so I don't use open learning. I just put it here and I know who has submitted a peer-to-peer. I can sort of monitor easily all of them. So so that's basically how I used it. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. Sorry, let me share my screen again. So here's the normal version of ChatGPT. I believe there are some features of the latest 4.0 that can be used, but it's not really that much. And then if you click on the drop-down list here, ChatGPT drop-down list, you'll notice that in order to use 4.0 and 4, you need to upgrade, which means you need to subscribe. Currently, subscription is 25 USD per month, right? So that's about 100 ringgit per month for Chat 4.0, the latest version. So let's look at a comparison. So let's say I'm using a programming example here. So if I typed in Chat GPT 3.5, the free version, please show me a basic C++ program that takes a user's birthday as input in the format of day, month, year, and calculates his age. So it shows you the program and then explanation of that program, and then even how to run. Okay. Now let's see the 4.0 version. So exactly the same question. Okay. Thought I already put the question here yesterday. Oh, was it deleted by accident? Okay, never mind. So let me just copy paste the same question and put it here. So if I ask the same thing on Chat 4.0, which is just chat, not Copilot, sorry. Paste. See if there's any difference. Put one side, and then this is the other side. So on the left is 3, and on the right is 4. The same question. And if you look at the code, it's also very similar code. Explanation still the same, but about the same, how to run. Okay. Right. So you can see that in terms of, if you're just asking in a generic question, it's very similar. But what's the difference between the two is, if you look at 3, you look at Explore GPTs, the list is a little bit more limited, okay? But again, like I said, you could try and use, so this is the one, Khan Migo Lite. This is Khan Academy. Khan Academy's Tutor Me. Now, it's exactly the same concept as, you know, in the video of the founder of Khan and his son using learning about how to calculate the angle, the triangle, right? But it's stripped down to just text. So like that one is, you've got audio, video, drawing, and so forth. This is just stripped down to just asking a question, text-based. Okay. So this is the 3.5 version. So you can click on Tutor Me and click on Start Chat. What did I use yesterday? I think it was to learn differentiation. Okay. I want to learn the basics of differentiation, and then press enter. Okay, so it gives you a result. Great, let's start with basics of differentiation. It's a way to find the rate at which a function is changing at any given point. So it gives you the formula, right? If we have fx, derive f respect to x, okay? And then here's a simple question. If fx equals to x squared, what do you think the derivative f prime x might be? Let's say you can answer, I don't know. So this is showing you a tutoring method. Instead of asking just questions and giving the answer, it's supposed to assist you in understanding a concept, right? So it tries to break down again. So now it talks about the power rule. Okay, so the power rule states that if fx equals to x to the power of n, then f prime x equals to what? So now if it's x squared, 2 minus 1, right? Then you say, I guess n is 1. Okay. Okay. Again, just giving the wrong answer. So not quite. Look closely at x squared. What number is the exponent in this expression? So it should be, what should the answer be? It should be 2, right? So you could just say, oh, it's 2. Right. Okay, so this is sort of like a tutoring system, but very scaled down, it's just text-based. Okay, so then it asks more questions again. Now, is this the same in 4.0? So if I do the same and I use 4.0. It also has tutor me, can we go version. So let's start. Right. Let me ask the same question. I want to learn the basics of differentiation. So same thing. Do you see a difference? I'm going to rate you. So let's put it side by side. This is 4. This is 3. So earlier I put the same question. I want to learn the basics of differentiation. Same thing. But you see that the 4.0 is more structured, right? Whereas the free version, it probably would take a little bit longer for the student to understand. So this one gives you, and then it asks you, would you like to try some practice problems? So that you could type, yes, please. Okay. Right, and then it actually gives you an actual problem, okay? As compared to this, it does, but it uses the most basic example, right? Okay, all right. But both features are available. The free version as well as the subscription version, they're available. So as educators, we need to realize that we would have students who would be exploring ChatGPT the same way we do, and they would have come across this Explore GPT here, and then they probably come across Tutor Me. But of course, there are limitations. Like I said, I've noticed a lot of the tutoring kind of tools are more into generic science, language, math. But of course, at the same time, in terms for my school, we know that there's a lot of coding based tools like Copilot and so forth. So the free version still gives you what is available in the paid version, but perhaps the output or the language is not as user-friendly as version 4.0. And you could, same thing, if you go and click on the free version, you have the header education. So it has basically the same thing, and I'll show the comparison. Sorry. Make this bigger first. So it's the same thing if I click on Explore GPT. Same thing, there is education as well. You can see that it is very similar. It's basically the same for both sides. Education, you get the same tools as well. Just that the output, okay, it's supposed to be, the 4.0 version is supposed to be more user-friendly. So that being said, for us lecturers, especially we teach programming, we know that the students have access to this. And for myself, one way to, in terms of, we do not want students to just simply copy code, right? They need to understand the programming that they do. Is the way you perhaps word the assignment, or what's the focus of the assignment, or how you restructure your assignment or reword it, so that it's not like they just use the tools to to basically try and get the answers from AI instead of trying it out themselves. But it is something that I think we need to be aware of, that I think some of us might feel, oh, they only the subscription version is powerful or very good, but even the free version, you do get the same thing. It's just how the output is given might be take a little bit longer for students to understand. Okay, so I'm not sure how many of you actually have played around with this, but wanted to show you something. Like I said earlier, one example of what we could use, one AI tool that we could use for our classes or to make it easier for us in terms of assessment. But another, on the other end, is what could the students be using now? And the easiest would be ChatGPT. It's still text-based, but it's still quite powerful, right? And a lot of the Explore GPT tools are available in the free version as well. Okay. Again, it's basically how much you explore, because you can see that they even have tools for writing. But you will realize that as an educator, so I've tried a few, and you will realize that some of these tools are not that good. Some are better than others. So it's not currently like 100% foolproof, right? Or giving 100% accurate results. Okay, so there's a whole bunch, and like I said, programming has its own subdivision or sub topic there, right? So the key thing that I want to mention here is that it's freely available for our students to use. They do not actually have to subscribe to the more advanced version of ChatGPT. Okay. Apart from that, the other tools, like as mentioned, you look at, for example, let's go back to the examples here. Sorry, jump. Okay, these tools here, they are pretty much subscription based. Personally, for myself, I'm more curious about the adaptive learning system provided by the publishers, because just wondering whether, as a university, and we do subscribe to some of those publishing companies, whether we would have access to any of those adaptive learning systems. It would be interesting to look at, right? I'm not too sure. Even Hazim mentioned earlier, not sure what we are allowed to access. I think it's more on research papers, right? Not actual book content. Yeah, so we just need to be mindful that our students have access to, especially number 2 and 4, virtual assistants and automated tools that even the free version is actually quite powerful. Okay. So that's all I have to show. Is there anyone that would like to share anything or any questions? Yes, subscription equals to money, yes. So right now it's just Q&A or sharing session. What my colleagues and I have done. So we actually, there are 4 of us who actually subscribe share one subscription to ChatGPT 4.0. That is possible to do. So as I mentioned earlier, ChatGPT 4.0 is 25 USD a month, so that's about 100 ringgit a month. So that can be quite expensive for one person to subscribe to. So myself and another three of colleagues, we actually share the access. And so we just pay 25 ringgit each. You could do that if you want to try a ChatGPT 4.0. Anyone want to share anything that they've used, or if you've got any questions? But basically, to summarize, I believe that whatever tool, mainly is still ChatGPT, and the AI features available and tools available in ChatGPT 3.5 is actually quite powerful, enough for our students to use on their own. So we need to be aware of that. And then I would also encourage us to use, as educators, to use the tools that we are given. So basically, through our Microsoft subscription, and also open learning, whatever AI-based tools, you should play around with it. You should try it out. If it works for you, then use it. By all means, use it. I think for us, AI helps in the routine things, the mundane things, and then we can concentrate on more complex or more important content or important things, so that you have more time for doing things that are more substantial. That's my personal view, right? So, okay, Dr. Prem is sharing. Checked out law subjects on chat. It gives a whole lot of info on cases, but no analysis at all. Yeah, so no use for law subjects. Okay, that's good. I do see that any kind of content that requires more on, like you were saying, more on the analytical side, it would be more applicable to something that is more advanced, right? Like the adaptive learning systems. So I agree with Dr. Prem. Yeah, if it's just ChatGPT analysis, it's not that strong. Because you need predictive analytics, you need all these other components in AI to work together. So for example, when I demonstrated Alex, right, you see how much input and how much processing and analysis that it did before it came up with the output, right? So it's not going to be easily available in a simple virtual assistant. It would be probably more under 1 and 3, which currently free version is not that good. Yeah. DJ is exploring Claude. You all can try. They are using different learning models. Yeah, so it's for coding though, case. Yeah. So like I said, there's just so many tools out there. And even when it comes to artificial intelligence, the subcomponents, the way you look into data, there's so many different methods as well. But again, if we know this, we should also educate our students as well. To what extent can they use ChatGPT? I mean, it's similar to when, our time when Wikipedia first came out. To what extent is information on Wikipedia useful or not? So now it's the same thing. For us, we need to educate the students to know, to tell them, look, this is okay, but this is not okay, right? Anyone else want to share anything else? Okay, Lijing, if we subscribe to those tools, can claim from TLC. Hazim? Hazim, if you answered yes, I would have probably already bankrupt you guys. Because I use a lot of quizzes and other tools as well. Yes, Kahoot. Yeah, okay. What is the limit? How much students can use AI in assignment? Very good question. Is there a policy for UW? I believe that goes back to the institution, right? Oh, Kahoot also needs subscription now? Okay, I didn't know that. I haven't used Kahoot in a while. Kin is asking a very good question. Lijing, can you answer? So Kin is asking, since four of you share the same account, I'm sharing with Lijing, by the way. Can you have concurrent login? Yeah, simple answer is yes. Yeah. So Lijing was saying that how much AI can be used depends on school. I'm also curious, I don't know, maybe Hazim, is there like a official, anything official from UW with regards to the amount of AI used in assignment?
Basically, for that, we are actually working on it because we are providing the guidelines, developing the guidelines now. That will be, blast to all for their guidance soon.
So currently, no limit lah. Or we control lah, right? Yeah.
But till now, it's under lecturer's jurisdiction, right?
Yeah.
At the current stage.
Okay, so Kin is asking again, just to clarify about the sharing of the chat GPT 4.0. Yeah, so because Lijing was saying the con is we can see what we have prompted. So what it means is this. So I'll show you this. So this account, 4.0 account here is the one that I'm sharing with my three other colleagues, and one of them is Lijing. So pretty much the con is you can see what your other three colleagues are using for, because if you look at the side here, I'm sorry, you can see basic differential rules, calculate users age, cloud research rubric, cloud trends. So these are all four of us, what we have been looking at. Cybersecurity CTF assignments. So we pretty much know what our other three colleagues are using ChatGPT 4.0 for. You can archive, but I guess the thing is, the danger is don't delete your classmates' questions or inquiries. Yeah, but basically, I guess it's basically more of if you trust your other three colleagues, should be fine, because you just want to use it when for the same purposes, for education purposes. So as long as you're comfortable with the other users that you're sharing with, it's fine. Yeah, like Netflix can see the history. Yes, correct. I will mention that it is tied to one email address, right? So, and it will be tied to a notification for one user's phone. So there will be time, actually in the beginning where you have multiple machines, right, accessing the same site, you may need to key in like they give you like the OTP code to key in so that it can be used on that new machine. But that's merely just contacting the person that the phone number is assigned to, and then they just WhatsApp you the code. That's it. Okay, so, and that usually happens like first time you're using it on a computer. So for security reasons, you just want to check, oh, wait, this is a new IP or this new computer that's accessing this account. But that's about it. At least you can use it and you save money as well, right? But other things, yeah, you would have to search online and find which tools the free version is actually okay. Like I said, I like this site for Educa Play. Is one of the sites I use to create online, a gamification tool that I use. Oh, sorry, this is the other account. Should be here. So Educa Play is free version, so I don't pay for this. So I have an account, my Educa Play, and they allow. So I've got a few things in here. So if you click on edit for what you've already created, they allow you to use the AI tool straight away without any subscription. The only thing is when you actually publish, there's just the free version has advertisements appearing at the bottom. So if you see the preview, the adverts appear down here. You see? Students are okay with that. So you can start matching pair questions. But quizzes, however, I do subscribe because I like the subscription version. The AI tool is more advanced. You get a lot of things that you can do with the AI feature. And personally, the reason why I have a subscription version of quizzes is I share it with my children as well. So it's not just for me to use in class. Yeah, so any other sharing, any other questions? Because if no, that concludes my presentation. And I kind of like expected this wouldn't finish at exactly 1 o'clock either. Anyone can share any thoughts before I hand it back to TNL, Hazim, Ali?
Thank you, Aidora, for the fruitful session today. I think if there's no question on the floor from the floor, I think that's all for today. And hope that you can have more session like this, especially for these hot topics on AI. Maybe we can have a different side from other from other stuff also. So based on the experience in with the development of AI nowadays. And I think that's all for today. Thank you for attending. Thank you for engaging, and hope you all have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you, everybody. You can also connect to me socially through my IG and FB. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.